Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I thought that I would do just a simple everyday look for me. So if you are interested in doing intricate goth makeup, alternative makeup I guess, if you've ever been interested in learning how to do alternative makeup, stay tuned. I usually go really heavy on the eyes and then with a nude lip and a really nice smooth base. So I'm going to start with this Ahava moisturizer. I really try to focus that on my under eye area, onto the bridge of my nose where I have the most dryness, and then also on the forehead. I'm gonna go in with this super tiny Hydro Grip primer. Alright, so I'm primed and I shaved my eyebrows, so now we're fresh as a daisy. I always use the Estee Lauder Double Wear or the Lady Gaga House Labs. This is in shade 1C0 Shell. So I always put some on the back of my hand and then I take my finger and I just swipe it in the areas that I need most coverage. And then I go in with my Real Techniques face brush and I like to kind of pat it into my skin. I always avoid the direct under eye area because I'm going to put concealer there and I don't want to get too cakey. I'm doing kind of a swift sweeping motion now. And then to get a little bit more coverage and to get rid of some of those brush strokes, I go in and just tap. Next is concealer. So usually I would use the Red Beauty Pot Concealer, but I moved and I'm not sure where my main one is. I have another one that I haven't opened yet and I don't want to open it and then start using it because I kind of wanted to put it in my professional makeup kit. And now I'm in a weird limbo spot with that. But my other favorites are the Tarte Creaseless Shape Tape Concealer, the Born This Way Ethereal Light Concealer, and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer. I think I'm going to go in with the Born This Way Concealer because that's just the one that I've been most using lately. I usually put like a little triangle here under my eyes, and then I put a little line right here to lift my eyes up a bit. I put a little bit on the 5 o'clock shad brow and a dot or two on the lid. I don't like to put too much on the lid because then you kind of risk getting super oily and creasy eyelids. I'm a Real Techniques girly, so I'm going in with my Real Techniques concealer brush, which is the 210. So again, I'm using like a patting motion with the brush. And on my lid, I'm kind of sweeping it in a little bit. Immediately gonna go in with powder. I like to use the One Size Ultra Pink. So I put some of that in the cap. I believe this is, yeah, Morphe M501. Get a decent amount of powder on there and just go right on those under eyes because we do not want any creasing and we want that area to be as bright as possible. Next is blush. I'm using the Rare Beauty in Encourage. And then I do 3 dots, sometimes a 4th, like right on the front. Then I use kind of a dense brush and I go in and blend it all out. You gotta be kind of aggressive with this blush when you blend it, or else it just kind of sticks in my experience. I do like to go pretty far inwards with my blush. I wouldn't do this on like clients or anything, but I do like a really flushed face for like alternative makeup. Next, I'm gonna highlight with this Wet n Wild palette. I always use this white one because I know y'all be sleeping on Wet n Wild, but watch this. Ready? That's all you need. Just a couple taps. Are you actually joking? Do you see that? And then it disappears? Wow! That's like on par with any luxury brand highlighter. I go in and I put a line on my nose and on the tip. Typically next I would do my brows, which the product I use depends on the day, but I've been doing red eyebrows a lot lately, so I use the KVD Super Pomade in the shade Scarlet for my red brows, and I use the Trixie Cosmetics Play Pigment brush, which you can tell I use that for my red eyebrows, but it is so incredibly thin, so getting that whoosh, like super intense goth eyebrow look is so easy with this brush. So I'm gonna kind of show you my process. It's really so simple. I take the pomade, saturate the brush in it. I get a lot on there because something about this pomade is it can kind of dry up as you're using it, and then I kind of like squish it, make it nice and flat. And then I need a hand mirror to do this. Usually start like a little, you can see where my natural brow bone is. Start a little bit higher than that, and I kind of start sketching a line. Once I get that start and I start going upwards with it, I just go for it and I go. And there you go. That's a sketch of my eyebrow. I take it from there, thicken it just a little bit. Like I said, see my brush is already kind of dry. Thicken it up a little bit, darken the areas that are a little lit light. Go in at the front and I kind of like blend it out a little bit so it's lighter towards the front. You can see like that ombre there. Now that brows are done, I usually would start on eyes finally. The big project of my makeup. Choosing the eye look is also the hardest part about doing my makeup every day. I love to do like intricate graphic liners, which I think is what I'm going to do today because I feel like a lot of people are interested in how I do those. I'm going to throw back a little bit for the eyeshadow, and we're going to go back in time and use this Lime Crime Venus XL palette because I am specifically extremely inspired by this shade right here, the Sage. I think I'm going to do the Sage and the Ripe. I don't know, I kind of like, they're like moldy colors almost, and then do like a graphic liner on top. Do the whole first eye, and then go off camera and do the other eye. My brushes are all dirty. If you're a makeup artist, you know how it is. Before I do this, actually, I'm gonna put on a little bit of Ren Beauty lip oil. Let them what's the word? I'm gonna let them marinate. Sage shade first. Oh yeah, that's so like moldy. I love that. Very strange shade. I love it. Alright, so I'm gonna go really high up with that shade and just buff it out. Because I raised my eyebrows like this, I have so much lid space to work with, which is part of why I do draw my eyebrows the way that I do. It helps me be more creative with my looks and gives me a little bit more canvas room. And this, oh yeah, that's disgusting. I love it. I always love like shade combinations that people would never ever put together because they're like, yeah, that's gross and ugly, and I'm like, yeah, and I love that. Blend that out in there. Just some black all over it. Now I'm gonna go in with the shade Classical just because it caught my eye, and we're gonna add it on because eyeshadow is just about layering, and who cares? It's giving black eye. I love that. It's like literally giving bruise. I'm gonna go underneath with the same shades. I'm gonna go really blown out with the green because that's our transitional shade, so I'm gonna go really far with that one. The brown. And then the purple. I'm loving this like moldy black eye, like I just got punched in the face vibe. Next thing I'm gonna do is graphic liner. I'm gonna use black and white using the e.l.f. and then this one, I don't even know, I got it off like Amazon or something in like a pack. The thing about graphic liner is you're not using a reference. It is just about winging it, girl. So the first thing I always do when doing a graphic liner is just a wing. Just a normal wing, and then we can just build off of that. First thing I want to do is go like this and thicken it up at the bottom. I'm just gonna start going crazy, so let's do like, lengthen this out. Let's do a line there. Here, I think I'm gonna go up. You need a really wet liner to get these lines like beautiful. I'm gonna go up.
Whoa, whoa.
And then from there, I'm gonna do a double. I don't even know how to like explain these. 2 C's basically on either side, and then fill that in. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a line on top. You pull that line down that way, and then I'm gonna do another one right here. I kind of want more to go on over here, so I'm gonna do a start from here and go down that way, and then here. So I think that's good for the black. I'm gonna go in with the white now. I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna do like a little web in here. And if you see something and you're like, I want to add more to that, do it. Now, I'm going to go in the corner. Super dramatic triangle. Now, I'm going to go in with some gel liner on the waterline. So that's one eye done. Alright, that's the other eye done. I just added some Kofi mascara. Anyone else's nose always run when they do their makeup? Or is that just me? Next I'm going to do my lips. I always do this Ren Beauty lipstick in Absolutely. And then I go on top of it with the Melt Cosmetics lipstick in Horror, which is a super duper duper nude. So I start with the matte lipstick and I do a super overline, but I try to keep it tight at the sides. Alright, and then I'm going to let that dry before I put on the second lipstick. I just put that right on top. And then blend. Now I'm going to throw some lashes on. I always use the Green Duo Lash Glue. One tip that I have for you if you struggle to put on lashes, especially strip lashes, is I always put the glue on my lash line. Obviously I wouldn't do that with clients because cross-contamination and everything. I do it with a spatula though. I'll depot this onto a palette and then scoop it up and put it on the lash line like that, and I just have them keep their eyes shut until I'm done. A lot of people also make the mistake of putting it on way too damn early. Let that thing sit, okay? You see how there's a blue tinge? You don't want that. I want this completely clear before I put lashes on. And this goes for clients too. I don't care if I'm in a rush. It doesn't take that long. I will stand there and fan your face until it is completely clear. Because even, you see that little tiny blue spot? That's gonna be problematic. That's gonna cause your lash to lift. I promise you, if you put it on too early, you will regret it. If you are going throughout the day and the inner corners of your lashes are lifting, that is why. You are not waiting long enough. I promise you that is why. The thing that I do to keep them from lifting is I do this. Before I put them on my eyes, I form them into more of a circle, because when I take them out of my drawer, they look like this. See the difference? So by doing that, I kind of make it more eyeball shaped. Another thing that you want to do is have a hand mirror and look down like this, and then come from an upwards angle. That's gonna get you as close to your lash line as humanly possible. So this is the finished look. This is kind of how I go out when I'm not feeling super lazy, which lately has been most of the time, unfortunately. But it feels good to be in full me glam. So if you have any questions or anything about the techniques that I used, let me know in the comments and I will get back to you. And if you liked it, subscribe, because I'm going to keep trying to upload as frequently as possible. So thank you. Bye.